Alright, welcome to Make a Path Presents. I'm Ronnie Hayes, and today let's talk about my 3 worst episodes from The Walking Dead Season 7. This gets a little tricky, and again, we are going to discuss some of the more problematic stuff for the entire series in the full series review, which I'm going to try to do tomorrow night or the day after that. What's that? Wednesday, Thursday? Probably Thursday night, because I do want to go back and rewatch a few other episodes. And this is the problem I'm running into. I know two. Let's say number 2 and number 1, definitely. I know the episode I dislike the most. We're going to start with that. The number 1 most disliked episode, man, and it's a tie too. It's just going to have to go with Swear. It's lacking cast members that I care about. I like Tara, but not enough for an entire episode, and this touches base with a problem that I had throughout the entire season, and I know a few fans are just sick of hearing it, but it's the structure. Tara's story and Oceanside would have been perfect for me if it was sprinkled in and out of multiple different episodes. And that is and has always been the standard of filmmaking with TV. That's not like uncommon. I'm surprised when I see some comments where people are like, well, that's not how TV's done, yada, yada, yada. That's just not true. TV does that. We see, we might see 10 minutes of Tara in one episode, 5 minutes of her in the next episode, and I know some people will be like, oh, we can't follow the story like that, this, that, and a third, and I just disagree. I think with a character like that, with a storyline like that, if they had a bigger budget, I'm willing to bet a limb they would have wrote it different. From what I can tell, from what it looks like, the seasons are structured and written around the budget. It's written around the break, and that's clear. They talk about that. The producers, the writers, they specifically talk about writing the story out to hit the notes. And this is one thing I kind of like when it works, and I really dislike when it doesn't work, because it makes it predictable. It makes the fans say, I can watch episode 1, episode 8, episode 9, episode 16, and that's where all the cool, exciting stuff happens. And far too often, they're right. Look at the best episodes of season 7, in my opinion, are the premieres and the finales. They're some of the best. Now, the mid-season premiere did not grip me by the balls. It didn't grab hold, and I thought it was okay. It was all right. My number 2 pick has got to be Go-Getters. I kind of liked Go-Getters when it first aired. I didn't dislike it. And here's another thing. When I say my top 3 picks for the episodes that I don't like, these are the worst, but I still like portions of them. I still like some aspects of Swear. I still like some aspects of Go-Getters. But there's a lot there that I think fell through. I find myself not wanting to watch the entire episode. When I go back to rewatch them, I don't want to watch Go-Getters again. I feel like a lot of that is just filler. We don't need it. Or we could have gotten better material, honestly. It feels hollow. The community, it feels like they don't have enough money to pay some extras. We see some people popping out of buildings, and that's it. It's empty and hollow, and it feels like we're chasing our tail in that particular episode, seeing how other things worked out. I much would have rathered something that pulled the characters together, other than some spectacle like a fight scene, some loud shit. It just feels like they wanted something, but they wanted to put action to kind of break up the storytelling and give us something that wasn't slow, and that was the byproduct. And I just don't feel like it's good enough, With Go-Getters, I think the saving grace are the Simon and Gregory scenes. I love when they get together and chit-chat. As a matter of fact, I just went back and rewatched Go-Getters before I made this video. That's why this is a little bit late. I wanted to make sure I went back and rewatched some stuff, and I found myself skipping the fight stuff. I didn't care. I thought at the end of the day it came off kind of sloppy, and there's definitely better ways they could have filmed that. Do one shot, one edit, have them kill, turn around, kill. Jesus comes over, help Sasha. One shot. None of this showing them going like this and then showing like, I don't know, the way they did it just, it's just gross when I rewatch it. But then I found myself sitting there watching the dialogue, just talking between Simon and Gregory. It's magnetic, and I think that's a saving grace. And it's surprising because I want a story that hooks me with Sasha and Maggie, and I just think it falls through. Now here's where we get to something that has to do with the entire season as a whole, and me picking a number 3 for an episode I dislike the least. I can't find one. And this is difficult because it's not like all the other episodes I think are just outstanding and amazing. It's just, I don't know what to pick. I like a little bit in The Well. I like a little bit of the introduction to the kingdom. There's some stuff I like between Morgan and Carol. The Cell, but there's also some stuff that I think it's too much. It's like going out to eat, and I want to. Did I say this before? I want some pizza and some chicken wings, but they just forced me to eat pizza this entire episode. No, I want to see what Alexandria is doing. I want some chicken wings. Damn it! This is episode number 2. We should see Daryl in a jail cell being tortured as well as the kingdom. Mix it up a little bit. Give me some chicken wings, some mozzarella sticks, some pizza. No, they're shoving pizza down my throat like I'm the obese guy from Seven. They're gonna cram it down my throat and then kick me in the stomach at the end, and I'm just gonna burst. And then you get number 3, The Cell. I like some stuff with the sanctuary. I like the build up between this Dwight and Daryl hatred that's starting to simmer. Service I really enjoyed. Swear I picked. Sing Me a Song. Heart Still Beating I really enjoyed. Rockin' the Road. There's some stuff that I really like between the characters, but at the end of the day, I feel like we could have got some stuff better. Yeah, they incorporated some stuff that they'll use later on. They got the dynamite from here. They're also most likely going to use that herd, and that's a setup. There's a lot of things in here that's setting up for this season, but I feel like we could have gotten a different story, and it would have been better. Number 10, New Best Friends. We're still setting up and establishing the stuff with the kingdom and the saviors and Benjamin. And again, there's some moments I really enjoy, but there's also half of the episode I'm like, meh, I could take it or leave it. Hostilities and Calamities, same thing. Say Yes. I really enjoy a lot of the Rick and Michonne stuff, and there's some pieces, you know what, that might be on a list of an episode I really like. And I know that's going to seem like it contradicts what I said about filler, because that episode, you can call filler all you want. I enjoy it. It had a shitty CGI deer, but I like it. Rick is my all-time favorite character, though, and I got a huge crush on Michonne. She's another one of my all-time favorite characters. So, and then Bury Me Here, the Lenny James is magnetic as Morgan. The Other Side is another one that, you know what, that's my number 3. The Other Side. Ouch. There's some little things in there I like, but I'm going to call it the 3rd worst episode, in my opinion, for season 7, because I feel like there's some filler in there that didn't need to be there, and it's only there because of the budget, and they need to split the story. They need to do split storytelling. We don't need Daryl and Maggie in hiding. That dynamic between Daryl not looking at her, that's wonderful. I would have taken 3 times that amount of screen time over pretty much anything else in that episode. The stuff with Enid and that savior, and I mentioned this previously, there's some stuff in here that we just don't need, or we could have gotten better stuff. And I think that is what we're going to discuss in the main review. I find in the episode, it feels like you have, because we are at, let's say, the hilltop for one episode, because we're here for 44 minutes of the hour, right? There is like 15 to 20 minutes that's additional stuff that's padding that time, because they can't jump out and go look at a different community. Now, they jump out in this. I'm not saying they don't show other stuff. They do. I'm using this as a general example. When they do the split storytelling, like the stuff with Swear, and no one mentions Heath again, that's something that's surprising. I would have taken anyone saying, when they went back to Oceanside, listen, one of our dudes left. He never came back. He might be dead. But if you see him, if you happen to see him, he's got dreads, whoop-de-whoop, That's our people. Look out. Tell him, come home, or if he's in trouble, let us know. Send messages, send word to us. Because I got the feeling they think maybe he did leave and he got mixed up in something, or maybe he died along the way. Maybe he's still out there, you know what I mean? But they don't even mention it. And we get screen time in multiple episodes after Heath disappeared where they could have put something in there, and they don't. Number 15, something they need. I like witnessing what Rick and gang do to get the guns, and how that parallels, how that mirrors Negan, how that mirrors Terminus, how that mirrors the governor, and it shows it in a different light. It shows how different Rick is. I like some of that aspect. At the same time, there's also little bits and pieces where I feel like it took up more of the episode than it really needed. But because they need to tell that story only utilizing this one area, we get some stuff that pads out the runtime. And then the season finale, again, was one I really liked. So those are my picks. And I'm going to end it here because I'm getting too much into what we're going to talk about with the overall season. But you guys let me know still. I didn't read your comments. I read a few, but I didn't read your comments for the overall season. I'll try to do that. Maybe I will push it back to Thursday. That way I can read your comments. But yeah, those are my 3 picks. Swear, number 1. Go-Getters, number 2. Number 3, The Other Side. And I only say the worst. They're not that bad, but I only say the worst because we did the best. Now we did the worst. They're the weakest of the bunch for me personally. That might change, though. I don't know. And this is what I'm talking about. There's some aspects I like, and then there's some stuff I feel like it pads the runtime, I should say. And those are the parts where I feel like it just jumbles everything up, and it leaves me conflicted. You know what I mean? You guys let me know if you get what I'm saying, and we'll dive in deep with a more coherent discussion about this coming up on Thursday, hopefully. Thoughts and opinions in the comment box. I'm done talking. It's your turn.
Subscribe now.